Mav's Coffee Clarity with Denise is brought to you in partnership with Drive Media and Consulting and their premier sponsors. Subscribe on your favorite streaming platforms and share. If you just found us, welcome. And if you're a regular, welcome back. Denise DiGrigoli has spent her life in the creative industries as an entrepreneur, helping people transform their visions into thriving businesses, working with individuals and teams to find their purpose and live their life vibrantly. On her pod, Denise delivers business intel and life hacks with wit and wisdom in short shots like a strong espresso with a solid sense of humor. Enjoy this episode of Mav's Coffee Clarity, and here's Mav.
Welcome, my friends. You're on Mav's Coffee Clarity with Denise. It's like having coffee with your sharpest friend. Strategy, clarity for work, life, and we do it in shorter formats with a little humor. And come on, who doesn't need that nowadays? If it's your first time, welcome. And if you're a regular, welcome back. Here's why I sit down with mavericks in their own right, creatives, business owners, and change makers who've maved their way through something. We're business intel and life hacks, and we deliver it with wit, wisdom, and clarity. Always unedited, silver linings found in every story. Hey, wherever you're tuning in from today, thanks for listening, subscribing, and sharing. Just a little FYI here, we tape live in my Massachusetts country studios, my urban studio in Fairfield County, Connecticut, and we go on location. Curious about my business offerings and my speaking? Visit Denise DiGrigoli, but hit me up after the show because we got a real maverick in the house today, my friends. Welcome to the pod, Eryca Nolan. Now, I'm going to read her bio because I don't want to miss a stitch with her, but I know her personally. Stand-up comedian, single mom, storyteller, who produces a female-focused comedy series called Project HERlarious. And I have to be honest with you, I've been on her show before. When she's not on stage, she's running UpStreet Smoke, a small catering brand rooted in her heritage and her community. Whether she's serving up laughs or plates, for her it's all about connection, community, and showing up fully. I love you, Eryca Nolan. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So Eryca and I come from the Berkshires, and what connected me to the story was I found her through my comedy training. Many of you know that I started off at the Ridgefield Playhouse with Christine O'Leary, and during COVID, somehow, and we can't remember today because we haven't had enough coffee yet, right, how I met you, but I was on your show at the Foundry, and then we put a show together I put a show together at Ventford Hall, a community fundraiser where you were one of the headliners. And what I love about your story and how you're a maverick is that you came home after decades of being away. So did I. And you came home, as you say, maybe to heal, but you used your grit and grace to really transform your life and sort of reboot all that was you.
Yes.
All right. So tell us how you were here, where you went, and how you came back.
Okay. I was born in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, on the west side.
Yeah. You're a west side girl.
Yes, I'm a west side girl, born and raised. Was there, went to school, 18, let me get out of this small town. I went up to Framingham State. Within a month of going up to Framingham State, my dad gives me the news, I have a job in D.C. We're moving the family to Washington, D.C.
Oh, so your father said you were moving. Okay.
Right. Well, so I'm in Framingham State. So I stayed there for probably 2-3 more semesters. He uproots the family, my sister, dog, everybody else. They relocate to Washington, D.C. So after a few semesters of moving out and moving all my things down there, I transferred to George Mason.
Okay.
So then I, started my life or restarted my life there. What is it, 28 years? So I went to school, got a job.
What were you doing? What was your first out of school job?
Actually, during school job, I worked at a bank.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my gosh. First Virginia Bank.
Okay.
I worked there, I don't know, I think it's called Dominion Bank. They've transferred the 3 other
Did you
banks.
like D.C.?
I did. At first, I didn't. I sat still because it's so huge. And if you really don't have relatives, what do they call you? A transplant.
Right.
So this really was hard finding my roots. It took me a good 8 to 10 years to really find my roots and, and be comfortable there. But once I did, traveled, hung out, Maryland, D.C.
And you, how many in your family? How many siblings do you have?
I just have an older sister.
Oh, so it's just the two of you.
It's just the two of us.
Okay.
But once my dad moved to D.C., I have cousins that relocated from this area as well and stayed with us temporarily till they got on their feet. And some of them are still in that area. They're in Maryland and D.C. area.
So where did you find your comedic voice, and what made you come back here? I mean, you're like a serial entrepreneur like me.
Yes.
But let's break it down for everybody, because I want them to see your maverick tenacity.
Okay. Yeah. Another comedian from, actually he was born in Pittsfield but then lived in Springfield, was in the area. So he came down. It's like, I'm going to be in the area for a comedy show. So I went and saw his show. And then the next time he was down, I went out and saw his show. And there's just, I don't know, I was just excited about it. Not just, the comedy was fun, but just the whole process of it. Like the back, I got to see the back end and riding with him and things like that. So I think 2 years in, maybe 2 or 3 years in, I was like, I think I'm going to go to a comedy class. I'm going to write some jokes. No, actually it started, his birthday was coming up. I don't know what birthday, 50, whatever age it was. I was like, I'm going to do a skit. I'm going to role reverse his jokes and do a skit for his birthday. And about a month before the birthday, we broke up.
Ah.
So I actually had material.
Now you had even more material.
Yeah, who are you telling? So I had all this material. So what was it? DC Improv had this class, 5 minutes of funny. So I took my notes, went down and did a 4-week class with them, had the best time. Went on that stage they help you. There's a comedian that helps you revise and get to the punchline and do things like that. So we had a graduation.
Were you known as the funny kid growing up in your family? Were you known as the writer? Where did this come from?
Not necessarily. I wouldn't say, and I always say this, I'm not the funniest person in my family. And even with cousins, I have cousins that are hilarious.
Even to this day, you feel that way?
I don't think I'm the funniest. I think I'm the only one that picks up the mic, but I'm definitely not the funniest.
So you have courage.
Yes.
You have courage.
And there was something there, because as soon as I did that graduation, I went up and did that 5 minutes and fell in love. I was like, I need to be here. And I didn't care. Once you hear that first laugh, that's it. You're addicted.
That's what my old comedy teacher, Christine, would say. You get paid in laughs. And that is joyous, right?
You cannot
when you
take
make
that
people
away.
laugh.
It's a high.
It really is. It is. It's kind of like a high.
Yeah.
People take it over money. Right? Because
Because
comedians don't make a lot of money in the beginning.
Yeah, it's all your passion and your love.
Uh-huh.
And
So now you're in D.C. You got the 5-minute bug. You've been paid in a laugh. What happens?
I continued doing comedy.
Did anyone in your family be like, Eryca, you're crazy?
Well, I think they already thought I kind of was, because I've already had that. Even when I was younger, living up in Pittsfield, guys started breakdancing. So I was like, we need a female breakdance group. So we're out there. I don't know how to breakdance. Had a whole group of people breakdancing. 17.
So your
16 years old.
entrepreneurial spirit
So,
was
yeah,
there.
so
Was your dad an entrepreneur?
Well, he has his full-time job, but my father also participated in the community, helping with kids,
Okay.
coaching, reffing. Then he played tennis. So, yes, he was many
He did a lot of
as well.
things. So you saw a lot of things growing up.
Yes. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Now you're in D.C. You're doing this. Are you still working?
Yes,
Wow.
always still working. I have a family, so always still working. I need my insurance. I need my 9-to-5 job. But if there was a weekend that my kids were, because I was newly divorced, with their father, I was gone. I was on the road.
Was that a hard juggle? You're a single mom with children.
Yeah.
You have a passion that's probably not paying a lot, and your full-time job in the day. How'd you make the juggle? What was the maverick wisdom there?
It's just a priority. Like, okay, you have to take care of your kids and raise them to be decent people. So that's always the forefront. Second, you have to have the 9-to-5 job. Those things are mandatory.
Right.
If I can add anything on top, and it's always on top. If I can add the cherries or the sprinkles on top, I'm going to do that as long as I can. If anything happens and I have to revise that plan, then what comes off is the comedy or the fun or the things like that.
You consider yourself a really organized person?
No.
Well, you sound organized
I know,
to
it
me.
sounded the way I said that.
Wow, I was like, she's very
The
organized.
way I said it, I was like, who's this person? No, I'm not organized at all. I was like,
So how do you pull it all together? Because when I meet you and you're putting together shows and I see you and you're orchestrating all the things you're doing, you seem very organized.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, I'm insane. I guess I have to be organized to some level.
For sure.
And I always blame, and I say I'm blaming on being a Gemini. Like,
Oh my gosh,
duality.
you and me too?
Yeah,
When's your
duality.
birthday?
June 20th.
I'm June 2nd.
How are you?
Oh, don't tell anyone. We just said it live.
Oh, I
on-
said it out loud. I know. So it's that duality. It's like
Right.
when one person's like the 9-to-5 and the mom's gone to sleep, And now here's the comedy person producing and reaching out to people and trying to get on the show. And so, yes, there is some level of organization.
So you're managing your family, you're managing your passion, we'll call it comedy, and you're doing your 9 to 5, which is what, banking at this time?
IT.
IT. So you're kind of a STEM girl.
Yes,
Wow.
I've been IT, database management, systems analyst, up to now where I'm an IT
So
manager.
let's just call that the reality of being a navigator. You got to be pretty smart to be doing all of that, right? This is not a job that doesn't require severe intelligence,
Right.
IT.
Yeah.
All right. And are you sharing all this knowledge and fun stuff and duality with your kids? Are they watching?
Try.
Yeah.
I do try. I don't know, maybe I've overdone it because they yearn for the structure. They yearn for the structure. They want the 9 to 5.
If it's okay, can we ask how many children do you have?
I have 4.
4.
Yeah.
Wow, you look fabulous for 4
Thank you.
kids.
4 kids. Well, 3 are adults now. We always call them kids. 3
Yeah.
are adults.
Well,
now.
they're going to be kids forever, right?
Yes.
Even my mother probably calls me a kid.
Yes, but now I have 4. 2 boys, 2 girls.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
All
Good
right.
kids.
So now you're doing all this. What makes you want to come back home to the Berkshires?
I came back. The firm I was working at got acquired by a bigger firm.
Uh-huh.
So I got a generous severance, but was let go. So then for a year, I think I stayed in the D.C. area. And
Let's take a
continued to
pause
do-
there. So when you got let go, were you upset?
No, because it was a very gradual process. It was a
So
very
you kind of knew.
I did know.
So
And
you
I-
weren't like blindsided.
Oh, no. It was
Okay.
like over a year process that we transferred information to them. And so we were well aware. Like, we were the last people standing when I left. So I was very fortunate. Some people got let go as soon as they took over. I was, like I said, last
Well,
man
a smart
standing.
lady. They need you there for the
They sure-
transformation,
and
right?
and they took care of me well.
Okay. That was a maverick moment for sure. Okay, so now
Yes.
you're there and you're hanging out for a year and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, now I have to go back to the 9 to 5.
Right.
So I started searching for 9 to 5s. It wasn't as easy. I applied Charlotte, North Carolina, I think had a position. I was like, why don't we move to Charlotte? This is a good opportunity. I'd been talking for
You said
years
this to the
about-
kids?
Well, to my kids and myself, I've been talking for years about I don't necessarily want to be in D.C. It's busy. It's a lot of work, especially
Crowded.
with the comedy and crowded. So I was like, and I'd always thought maybe I'd move back north, but I was like, let's try Charlotte. I tried Charlotte for probably 3 weeks. I shouldn't even mention that. Tried Charlotte for 3 weeks. I left the kids. It was the summer with my sister. Went down to Charlotte. Actually worked for 3 weeks, and then I woke up one morning and I was like, I miss my dad.
Ah,
He
interesting.
in the meantime, had left D.C., came back to Massachusetts to retire, and was sick off and on.
Was your mom still alive at that time?
No, my mom passed in 2002
Oh,
in the
okay.
D.C. area.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
So now he comes back. He's alone and he's retiring here.
Yes, he retires to Massachusetts. He was
Yeah.
visiting us once a month in D.C. I was like, well, he's not going to come to D.C., then come to Charlotte. So I got in my car, drove back, picked up the kids, and came up to Massachusetts. I still hadn't gotten a full-time job yet. My sister had a second house up in Massachusetts, so I didn't grab all the kids. 2 were in school. They stayed with my sister. I grabbed the younger kids. We came up to Massachusetts, and that's it. Parked at her second home.
And now what were you doing?
For a few months, I wasn't doing anything. Still doing comedy, social things, and then I got another IT position.
So as you're moving through your life, are you looking far down the future? Are you saying I'm going to be this in 10 years as Eryca Nolan? Or are you just living day to day?
At that point, it was day to day. I finally got a position to move back to D.C. after 2 months of being back here in Pittsfield, and found out my dad was sick.
I see.
Yeah, my dad was sick, so we stayed.
You stayed.
He had another year, about a year and a half, and then he passed.
I'm sorry to hear that as
Yeah.
well.
So I woke up after he passed. I'm like, I don't have to be here anymore. And I'm like, but maybe I do. So I checked with the kids, and then by then the boys joined me. So we were all up here, purchased a home. I said, do you guys want to stay? And my daughter's like, yeah, I like. At first she didn't like it. Like, she was crying every day. She decided she liked it. So it's like, okay, I'll stay. For you guys, I'll stay. And so,
Are they still with you to this day?
yes.
Ah, so they
Yes.
love it here.
They don't necessarily love it, but I think I'd have to leave for them to leave. Like, they're not going to go too far from me.
So I saw so much of your story in my own story, right? I moved back here 3 years ago, kind of to reconnect with my family and my creativity and do the things I love, which is the show and meeting
Yes.
people and helping share stories so people move forward. That's the whole goal of our show.
Yes.
So now you're over here And you've got this cool thing called, I said it right before, I don't want to say it wrong again. The, what's the name of your business?
Oh, UpStreet Smoke.
UpStreet Smoke. I want to say Smokehouse. I don't know why.
You're not the only one. We have been so many names.
Okay, tell me about how UpStreet Smoke comes to be in and around a 9 to 5 and a comedy and 4 kids and reconnecting with your roots after you've lived all over New England and DC.
Well, UpStreet Smoke came about, well, first of all, with Pittsfield. I don't want to say this, but sometimes the food is challenging. If you lived in a bigger city like Washington, D.C. or Charlotte.
Oh, we say that all the time.
Yeah, and then you come back.
You're like, the depth of food needs to grow.
Right. And it's just, it is what it, when I
Well,
lived
it's
here,
not a lot
it
of
is what
people
it is.
here. I mean,
right. So it caters to them. But I was used to, soul food and Ethiopian food and, like you said, smoked food. So I started making, anytime we wanted to do anything, we just make it. Like, look up a recipe of something we ate in D.C. and we'd eat it. And then COVID hit, and my dad actually had a property in his portfolio, takeout restaurant. He wasn't running the restaurant; it was his building. So during COVID, it was empty, and I was like, maybe we should do this on the weekends. And because of COVID and getting serve safes and all the legalities, I just couldn't get it set. And then I also got sick. So we sold the building, but the thought was still there. The thought
Are you better?
Was there. I'm much better.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, kidney stones. Something as simple as kidney stones.
Could knock you out.
I could not process them myself, so I went into the hospital when I moved up to Pittsfield, and then I went to the hospital during COVID as well. And then COVID, they're in there with the outfits on, trying to work on me. They sent me to Boston. Probably 10 minutes into the surgery, I had a cardiac arrest.
Oh, my heavens.
COVID. Yeah. So it's I know when I say the things out loud, I'm like, this is insane.
So I didn't even know that about you until literally right now.
Yeah. So the whole year of COVID, and I was thankful because the whole year of COVID, I was in recovery. I was on meds and really out.
So you really almost left the planet.
I did for a little while. Yeah.
Wow. How has that changed you? Did you wake up from that and say, I'm a whole new Eryca Nolan?
Either that or I'm kind of remembering who I was.
And tell me about that, because that's how I feel about me here.
Yeah, I don't think it's the new. I'm remembering, like, you look back to all the things you wanted to do. I wanted to do ballet and soccer, and I wanted to be a hairdresser. And some people have to pick and choose one thing. And I'm like, but do you have to?
Right.
Let's test it all out and see. And you're right. If you think you're about to leave the world, you're like, what do I want to leave here with? I don't want to just I like the 9 to 5, but I don't just want to leave that as my mark.
I think that's so profound, right? And that's also something that caught my attention when we were pre-show chatting. You have given yourself permission to be all the things.
All the things. Do all the things.
I remember one job interview I had coming out of FIT. And I remember this fashion company, I'm going to just be kind and not say the name, said, oh, you're the jack of all trades, master of none. And for years that haunted me. I could not get out of my own way. And when you grow up in the Berkshires, like the menu here is wide. Be creative, be IT, be an entrepreneur, be an artist, right?
Art, yeah.
And then one comment or one situation in your life can knock you down if you don't have Mavs Coffee Clarity to tell you, hey, give yourself permission. You're ready already.
Yes, definitely.
So
definitely.
Tell me about how you moved your grief into grit.
Grief into grit. I think I basically stayed busy most of the time. So I didn't even, like you and my sister and I both say it all the time. Like, my father passed. We did what we had to do to bury him. We did all the legalities, everything surrounded. Didn't realize he was as busy as us. So you're closing accounts. You're seeing what else he owned. If there's an LLC out there, we're still discovering things that he did.
A lot of stuff,
so
right?
we stayed busy. And now I do ground myself through all the busyness. People don't realize, and I always say this, I'm home all the time. And people are like, you're never home. We see you on Facebook. I say, but every outing you see, you probably see 2 or 3 days I'm home. I'm sitting there in my room or with my kids or just relaxing and grounding and,
So it sounds to me like you do have really great time management and energy management, which is what we talk a lot about on this show. Like, time management's critical, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't have energy management, you can't do all these creative things that you want to do. So are you doing your catering business?
Yes.
And who do you cater to?
Catering. I have been very fortunate. We started with the pop-ups at the farmers market, and I think the first year in, we did a wedding.
Wow.
Yeah. We did a wedding for 80 people. That went well, or I hope it went well.
Mhm.
But I mean, I still communicate with the person, so that went very well. And I was very fortunate that she reached out. From there, we did a few birthday parties. I do pop-ups, and I did a catering. No, I went to Juneteenth. We did probably maybe our third pop-up for Juneteenth. Sold out. Like it was, we had an amazing.
Are you servicing all of the community here or beyond Berkshire County?
Beyond Berkshire County. We sat next to Shakespeare and Company. Somebody there smelt the food the whole time. We saved her a sandwich. She got a sandwich. She called us the next month. Hey, can you cater for her?
That's how it happens. Just old-fashioned marketing, right?
Just all organic.
One cup, one conversation, one referral at a time.
Yep. She called. We went to Shakespeare, catered. Now we pop up there on the summer and during the summer months. Farmers market. I've had a collaboration with Hot Plate. Brewery.
What's Hot Plate?
It's a brewery on off of North Street in Pittsfield, and they have a great story too.
They do? Oh,
Yeah,
then
I
maybe
think
you have to tell them to come on.
Yes, because I think they're called Hot Plate because back when they had an apartment, they cooked on a hot plate. So now they have a small brewery. It's really nice.
You know, I think it's so important to share your story because we work with knowns and unknowns.
Yeah.
And I think people think, especially, dare I say, women, we've been given the adage, like, we're not good enough if we're at the workplace because we need to be back home. We're not good enough if we're at home because we need to be working and producing. And somehow certain people just get it. And I don't want to say they do it all because I want to be a human being, not a human doing.
Yes.
But I feel like it's important to share the simple story of how you just move through it. So now you're back home.
I'm back home.
Where does Project HERlarious come from? Because you are hilarious.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Project HERlarious.
Even though you just told us a few minutes ago that everyone else in your family is funnier than you.
I am. I'm still funny. I believe I am. Project HERlarious actually started in D.C. And I think we talked about it before, is that I'm a comedian, but I'm a mom, and I'm 9 to 5. I can't go to open mics every night like everybody else. So what I did is early on, probably within a year, decided I'm going to bring people to me. And the way to bring them to me is to create a platform. So I started out as called Funny Girl Takeover within a year of comedy. And I was like, I'd never meet all the great women that are out here unless I was bringing them to me. So I did a show. I was like, I'm going to do 5 shows in 5 weeks at 5 locations. So then I put it on Facebook, like, hey, I need these locations. And some people popped up and like, you can use our venue. And then other people I had to negotiate with. Initially, it was unpaid. You know, the shows were free, I think, except for one. So then I got to book 5 women each show. I think we did D.C., Maryland, Virginia.
Did the women come to you, or did you search them out?
Initially, I searched them out because I'm only in a year in. Nobody really knows me.
Right.
And a year in, you're not as funny as everybody else. But I look upwards, like this is where I want to be. So I started reaching out to these people. Do you want to be on my show?
Seems like you're always looking upwards.
Yes. Why?
But you didn't, when I asked the question, did you look 5 years
you're
down?
Right. And I said no. Yeah.
So you loosely have a vision in your mind. Is that correct? And you just kind of go for it?
It's in pencil. But yes, if there's someplace I want to be, then I want to see who's already there. And I want to see what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Is that like your IT background right there?
It may be. I'm not
like
sure.
You're going to do a little research and figure out the puzzle before you jump in? Or are you on the boat and you jumped in and you're figuring the puzzle as you go?
Yeah, I'm a habitual line stepper. So I want to say I jump in and immediately start.
Yeah, I'm a line
around.
Stepper too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't have time. Like I had cardiac arrest. I don't have time. I'm not... I don't want to cause chaos and confusion, but I still want to bring, I think I have a lot to bring, and I want to share that. And then I also want to see what you need for help, because there are IT things or organizing things that I could bring to your plate, and I let people know that.
So you share.
Oh, I'm an overshare.
You're an overshare.
Yeah, I'm not a gatekeeper. Whatever I have, you can have.
That's how I am too.
Like
my father raised me like, split the pie. There's enough to go around for everybody,
there's
right?
Always enough.
And someone's always making pie.
Right.
Right? And there's enough to split.
I
can't hold on too tight.
With it.
Can't. Right.
What am I going to do with it?
I heard something, I don't know where I was listening, TikTok, and a lady was waiting outside for Frank Sinatra just to get a signature for her dying spouse. And she was really making a ruckus. And finally, Frank got out of the limousine and gave her a signature and asked her why she needed it so bad. And she explained because that would make her spouse happy and whatever. It sounded like he had a death-defying illness. Anyways, he also took off. Now we're going back into the 60s, his $5,000 cufflinks. And his friend in the limo said, Frank, why would you do that? You worked so hard. You waited for those, blah, 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 blah. And Frank said, you know why? Because everything I have is rented. When I'm gone, someone's drive my car, wear my cufflinks.
Yes.
And that's how I look at it too, right? You got to hold on loosely.
Yes.
Hold on loosely and keep going.
Yes.
Okay, so what kind of waves are you making?
Oh, all over the place. I'm still doing the catering.
Yeah.
We're having a balance there, whereas if I do the pop-ups where you're at the farmer's market, that's where I get my clients. But if I commit to too many pop-ups, then I don't have space open for the catering. So now I'm treading lightly this season to make sure I have enough space for catering that pops up, because the last minute it might be 2 weeks out. I can't say, I'm booked for the whole summer, because I'm seasonal. We smoke, so it's seasonal. So I'm treading lightly, and I've been still very fortunate with that. Line dancing is a new trend.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've been line dancing since I was 15.
I mean, they taught it to us in high school here,
But
right?
for some reason, it's hot topic now. So I
Really?
had a line dancing event for Mother's Day weekend.
Oh, so you're still doing events as well.
Yes.
And where's Project HERlarious going to be next?
Project HERlarious. It wasn't a Project HERlarious. I was supposed to host for an event in June 14th. That show just got canceled.
Well, I think we're going to have to
Do something.
we're going to have to do another show or some kind of event together, because that was a lot of fun that night.
It was.
And we have-
Foundry's wonderful.
The Foundry is wonderful.
Amy's wonderful. Yeah.
I really think and I want to try Dewey Hall here.
Yes.
So, okay, spill your final Maverick wisdom as we bring our show to the close. Somebody's coming up in the world. Maybe they're a single mom. Maybe they're trying something new. Maybe they want to get back to their old passions, find their old selves. What would you tell them?
My whole thing is like, do the thing.
Do the thing.
Do the thing. Whatever the thing is, try it. Take a step in. There's enough resources.
What if they say, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, Eryca? I'm afraid. My spouse, my friend, my lover, my mother told me I can't.
Right. Just try it.
Just try
Do
it.
the thing. And just put your toe in. Just
Put your toe in the water.
put your toe in the water. Find other people that are doing that thing. Talk with them as to how they got in.
Do you consider yourself a maverick?
I do.
You do.
I'm a renegade. I am. I do have rules. So I'm.
What's your
Can
rule?
you do two things at once? I have serious rules, of course, to be organized and to raise my kids. And of course, I'm still in the 9 to 5. I'm structured. But then I have this other side that's like there are no rules.
So live your life,
Live your life.
especially after cardiac arrest.
Yes, on all sides. Definitely.
This has been an incredible moment with you, Eryca Nolan. I'm so glad to reconnect. Now, where
I
can
am
people
too.
find you? Facebook?
Facebook.
And it's Eryca Nolan or Project HERlarious?
Eryca Nolan and Project HERlarious and UpStreet Smoke.
And UpStreet Smoke. Listen, my friends, you've been on Mavs Coffee Clarity with Denise. Today's episode has been brought to you by Drive Media and Consulting, where we bring your brand, your marketing to life with strategic communication. And if you want to know more about my strategic services, jump on DeniseDiRigoli.com. Peace out, my friends. Eryca and Denise have got to get back to work.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.